Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at mounting options for your Google Mini. And by the way, this will also work for the Alexa Amazon Dot. Let's go ahead and check it out. So now we've been reviewing the Google Mini tips and tricks for several months now since its release, and also on the Google Home. And it's an absolutely fantastic device. If you haven't seen the videos on tips and tricks and my favorite commands, make sure you check it out. And I'll tell you, we have one in every single bedroom, including in some of the just common areas. So kitchen, living room, dining room. And one of the things I was looking for is how can I take the Google Home or Mini and put it in an area that is not on my coffee table. I can mount it somewhere or even hide it, because you don't really even have to see it in order for to have it work. So I was looking for mounting options. So my requirements were A, that it was easy to mount with no tools required. B, that it also took into account the charging needs, because I didn't want to have a long cable, or I wanted to create something that was, pretty compact and clean. So here are two solutions that we're going to look at that will solve that. So let's take a closer look. So we're going to be looking at two solutions here. We have the first one here that is from Mount Genie, and this one is exclusively designed for the actual Mini. And the next one that we have over here is the Clover tail. And the Clover tail works with both the Mini and also the Alexa Amazon Dot. Now let's take a closer look at the Mount Genie for a second, just to look at the options. First thing, it does come with its own micro USB cable, and it's a short cable. It has a power supply that is removable, so this part right here comes out and you can snap it back in. But it also comes with a support, I don't want to call it a beam, but this is typically your ground point. So the nice thing about this is that when you put it in, the outlet, if it's being supported this way, it's going to give you some support. If it's going this way, it's also going to give you support. So it's going to loosen or reduce the amount of stress that you have in these 2 points. So that's also really nice. It does snap into place. So you have these little grooves right here. Let's get it right here in an angle. You can see it. Those little grooves right there are going to be going into the corner here. We'll slide into this area in the speaker, and then you have this release mechanism here that you'll just put a coin or a screwdriver to pop it out if you need to reset your Mini for whatever reason, even though you can just unplug it and that's all it will take. Right? So that's the Mount Genie. So now the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my Mini and I'm going to align it, because to me the most important part is making sure that this thing is aligned nicely and that I'm not covering up my mute button. So I'm just aligning it. I have this thing put in place. I'm going to line it, and then I'm just going to bring it in and until I hear a snap. So I'll just push that like that. Make sure I got the bottom in. There you go. So there was a little click and it held in place. I'm going to tilt it a little bit so you can adjust it. And again, I have this in place and this in place. And then one thing that you'll notice is, let's get in a little bit closer. You see that groove right there? That's the area that I'm talking about, that you put something in. Flathead screwdriver. Don't stab it, because it's going to ruin your Mini. You don't want to scratch things up, at least I don't. Once you put it in, you put some pressure and you tilt, it's going to just pop out. So now the next thing is we're going to go ahead and do this connection. Now what I'm going to do is first put in my USB. So we're going to tilt it this way. Make sure that that's connected there. So that's connected nicely. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put in the micro USB connector in. So now this is the setup. So look how nice this is. Now this could go, I don't know if it would make sense to go under your bed, but if you think about it in a bedroom, how it's lower, you could literally just put this on the side, completely out of the way, and you can use this once again without having to worry about it getting knocked over or it being on a coffee table. And I'll tell you, even though it's on the lower area in some cases, it sounds great even closer to the floor. In my kitchen, I have a backsplash and I have outlets. This works great in the kitchen too. So this is how the setup works. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it would look like mounted on the wall, and I'm about 5 feet away from it. I've zoomed in, so this is close to the baseboard of my floor, and I'm just going to use the Hey command so that you can see how it would work and how well it responds, and it doesn't have to be on a flat surface. Well, what time is it? Not a problem, works fine, and it blends in really nicely with the bottoms. And again, you just get it off of your table, you just get it off of any surface, and I like the fact that I won't be able to knock it over or unplug it by mistake. All right, so let's take a look now at the Clovertail. Clovertail shares a lot of the similar capabilities as the previous one that we looked at, the Mount Genie. Difference is that this is going to work with both solutions. So I'm going to unplug my Echo. I just want to show you something. There's the Echo, fit without a problem. And I'm going to now remove it. And now I'm going to take the Mini, put it in its place too, and there it is. So it supports both devices. So this is great, especially if you're in a home where you have mixed devices like I do, where I have two different smart speakers. Now, the next thing that you'll notice is that it does have a power adapter. The difference here is that it doesn't have a supporting bar like this one does. So you notice how we talked about this earlier. So this is this piece right here, and this is foldable though. All right, so you can fold this away. I don't know why you would fold it unless maybe you're going to take it with you when move it around, but once this is plugged into the wall, you wouldn't. The cable is a little bit longer because, again, it's supporting two different type solutions, so they didn't want to go with something short, but it still works rather nicely. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Mini, slide it into this groove just like this, make sure that it's aligned nicely like I want it, and you can see how that looks right there. You can turn it around a little bit if you want. Then take the micro USB cable, plug it into place. So this is what it's going to look like. Not as clean, I would say, as this one is, right? Because this one had that really short cable. So you're looking at something that's like this. But it still works. And it's in place. Now, it's not as, well, it won't come out as easily, but this one seemed to be more rigid, and it was more locked in because it had these clips. Remember those clips that kind of go into the grooves of where you have the mesh in the speaker. Now let's go ahead and see what this looks like when it's plugged in, and then we'll also do an audio test. All right, so you can see the difference in kind of like the overall aesthetic. This one, because of how prominent the white bracket is, does stand out a little bit more than the other bracket that we looked at. But you'll notice how I have it mounted. It doesn't have to be vertical. In this case, it's horizontal, just like this, and it holds the speaker well. From a sound perspective, it's going to respond. So let's go ahead and try it. Hey Google, what time is it? All right, so again, I'm about 5 feet away, and I'm not leaning over, I'm not bending over, I'm standing as I would naturally. And again, this is something that you can have in your bedroom or anywhere in your home where you have an electrical outlet, and you can have a smart speaker in the home without someone actually noticing that you have one. So there you have it. We have two options for your Google Mini, and also one that also works with your Amazon Echo Dot. But tell me, which one do you prefer? Do you like this style, this specific model? Again, and this is our Clover tail version, or do you prefer the one here that is the Mount Genie? Both of these, again, are available on Amazon, and I'll have the links in the channel. This one's going to run you $14.99, and this one's going to run you $12.99. Let me know in the comment area which one you think is the coolest and the one that you may think about getting. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.